start then. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Friends, this Saturday, 20th August 2022, we are going to discuss how we could overpower negativity with positivity. You can see how our lives have changed since March 2020. And as the days, months, and years have gone by, the pandemic continues to go on non-stop. This has made conversation to become more and more negative, overcome by fear, stress, sadness, and anxiety. Of all the creatures on earth, only human beings are able to speak and exchange ideas. Some people misuse this great gift by only thinking and speaking about negative things like sickness, loss of wealth, or children's neglect, etc. They are unable to talk of anything positive, so that they spread their dissatisfaction to their listener too. There are others who cannot be happy about the success of another. When someone talks of a happy or good experience in their life, the listener will quickly chip in with his or her own similar incident or happening. Why can't we share in the joy and happiness of the other person without talking about my own success or experience, which will be like belittling the other's good fortune? If COVID has not victimized you and your family, you may feel gratitude and also a sense of guilt and shame. In that mind state, you cannot help or reduce the suffering of others. From this worldwide crisis, we can learn to appreciate certain changes in our lives and also certain people who have contributed to it. In ancient times, our forefathers were called to join in battles, but now we are asked to stay at home. The doctors, nurses, and medical staff all over the world work round the clock without sleep and are unable to go to their homes. The workers in many shops, or those delivery boys, and the mailmen should be appreciated. We could be grateful to be healthy and alive, to listen to a bird song, or watch the sun's rays, the raindrops falling, wake up in the morning after a good rest, and for the sake of our children, who gives our life a meaning, we could also show our gratitude to those around us. If someone does a kind action or help, we could circulate it by helping another, not the same person, not that you don't have to help that person, but you can help another person so that it continues to grow, that because that person will help another, and so on and so forth. Such an action may go a long way. Life is unpredictable and confusing. We worry about our health and if we can find enough to feed our family, or if all our savings would be lost. Such questions about the future are not real and not worth reflecting upon, for the only reality is the present moment. Who knows whether we live to, see about all those things that we were worrying about. This is a good time to connect with others and learn new ways of spending our time. For most of us have been given bonus time, and this is a fine opportunity to learn how to live. If we are self-aware, we would see the truth about ourselves. Sometimes it may be admirable, but at other times it may make us cringe if we have a conscience. We may see how we look at the world through jealousy, anger, making comparisons selfishly with pervert and materialistic thoughts, harmful and cruel thoughts, etc. When we are full of expectations and they are not fulfilled due to betrayals, failures, etc., we may become negative. Negativity can happen in two ways. One, by things that may happen to you that is visible to others also. And secondly, by things that may happen within you, inside, unseen by others, and only visible to you. In the Sutta of the Samyutta Nikaya, now Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi translate this Salla as the dart. It's also called arrow. The Buddha has shown the origin, the cause, and the means of transforming the negativity to positivity. The Buddha compares two kinds of human beings, that is, the uninstructed worldling, he calls him the Putujjana, and a noble disciple, Arya, a noble disciple, not necessarily an arahant, not necessarily a person who has attained any spiritual attainment, but a noble disciple who is a practitioner. In that sense, some of us also may be qualified for that. So anyway, when a painful feeling comes to the worldling, he sorrows, grieves, laments, weeps, and becomes mentally agitated. then due to the underlying tendency of aversion within him. Now, I think I have explained this to you, but anyway, this aversion means something that is within you, which you have brought from the past. It can be called asava, or it can be called like this, underlying tendency, because it lies under. It doesn't come to the surface unless some situation arises, right? So now, because of this aversion, he feels a great dislike to the pain, right? Not that everybody likes pain, but this person has a great aversion to pain. This is the origin of negativity. To get rid of this aversion, he turns to sensual pleasures of, different kinds, sensual pleasures, to find delight. Now, the underlying tendency of lust takes hold of his mind. Can you see? To get rid of one, he goes to another, and he takes in now two kinds of underlying tendencies. He is attached to both feelings. One is to push it away, and the other is to take delight in the pleasurable one. This is the cause of the negativity. Also, due to the underlying feeling of ignorance. Now, there is ignorance also in all these feelings, right? He tries to be neutral, to develop neither painful nor pleasant feeling. He tries to develop that neutral feeling. He does not know how to develop equanimity when pain fills his mind. He is not able to transform negativity into positivity. Now, three fetters, namely Sakkaya Ditti, personality belief, Kama Raga, greed, and Avijja, ignorance, have arisen in him. Can you see how we develop these asavas, or we can call them fetters also. Then the Buddha now turns to the noble disciple. He too feels pain. Now we know that when Devadatta sent a big stone on the Buddha, it struck his foot and it gave him a lot of pain, right? So this kind of person also feels pain. He was an Arya. He was an Arya. The Buddha, still he felt pain. But he knows how to change it into a positive feeling. That is the difference. He does not grieve, sorrow, or lament like the worldling. For he does not. He is not mentally stricken. He has the physical pain, but not the mental pain. Now, can you see the difference? That's why the Buddha says that while the worldling is struck by two darts, two arrows, the noble disciple gets only one dart. That is only the physical pain, but not the mental pain. He does not develop any dislike towards pain. So he is not troubled by the underlying tendency of aversion. The worldling thinks of drowning his pain through sensual pleasure because he does not know any other way. The noble disciple knows that pain is impermanent, anicca, and would pass away, but is unavoidable. When you get something, a pay, a break or a wound in somewhere in your body, there will be pain. You can't avoid that, right? The pain will be there. He knows the danger of sensual desire and avoids it. Thus, he is able to escape without mental pain. So he is detached. This is the Buddha's way of dealing with pain, turning negativity into positivity through the Dhamma. So that is why the Buddha says, Dhammo haverakkati dhammachari. I'm sure you would have heard of it. That is the one who develops, the one who cultivates, the one who practices the Dhamma is protected by that same Dhamma. Sometimes people hang on to negative thoughts or incidents by ruminating, or like a cow that chews the cud, take apart the event and replay it with new ideas and how it could create more negative events in the future. Or else it can be how you could take revenge even. That kind of, rumination also can take place. The wiser attitude is to focus on a solution. How can I avoid a similar situation in the future? Someone told me a story about his stock market experience. He had put $500 there, and the following month, it had come down to $50. Instead of feeling downhearted, he just forgot all about it. Another man put $100 there, which increased to $200. And he was very happy. But the very next month, it went down to $150, which was a disappointment. See the reactions of the two men. One faced his loss positively, whereas the other thought he lost, though he still had a gain of $50. These are all worldly Dhamma that fluctuate frequently, loss and gain, praise and blame, all these. There are 8 kinds of Dhamma. They are impermanent. And if we get attached to them, we would suffer. That's why the Buddha tells us to see the reality in things. The ordinary peaceful life is not always exciting and glamorous. So people get excited by the negative stories. The media, news, radio, internet, etc. highlights many negative stories. When we see them as the truth, they could change our thoughts, feelings, and our well-being. Our society is focused on injustice. So we are bombarded by the grievances of others, and life turns bitter and negative. Another reason for people's negativity is that they are lonely and alienated. This is partly due to modern technology, which allows work to become remote and the community become more and more abstract, so that people do not have a sense of belonging. It's not only the physical loneliness, but also being away from friends and relatives. Especially the younger crowd feels that they are misfits and no longer wanted or valued. Everywhere you see the mask wearers, so that the smile or greeting that you enjoyed earlier is gone forever. Negativity can cause other side effects, such as violence, when rejected by those that you care about, or expecting to gain a place in a gang, especially among young people. Some may use violence as a means to show their self-importance. You know, we hear lots of stories about how even small kids take guns from somewhere and go and kill or hurt his own classmates. So anyway, to prevent this kind of negativity from erupting into violence, parents and teachers must be watchful and monitor their children at an early age so that they do not use TV, internet, and video games that show violence. When they are small, they do not understand the difference between good and bad. When a little child falls down sometimes, and cries, the adult who is taking care of that child sometimes hit the floor to pacify the child. But this is a wrong way of dealing with such situations. School systems must have definite policies that leave no room for any student to tease, threaten, or mistreat any child. All should have equal opportunities. When I was growing up, we had no fears about our safety, so that our parents did not restrict our movements. Now, we worry and supervise when our children play in the yard because there are child predators. This negativity and insecurity has become part of our life. But should we allow it to ruin our lives? Sadness passes away, but a negative thought can take root in our mind until we uproot it. Even a tree, even if you cut it down, it will, bring out more branches or whatever, shoots, if you don't uproot it altogether. So, mindful meditation is a sure way of finding freedom for ourselves and others. Though we are unable to manage the external world, we could manage our inner world or self. There is a lot of power in a positive mind, so that our immune system improves and good hormones are manufactured inside. In stressful times, we can learn new ways of being or just living. In the world where we see only scarcity, hunger, poverty, conflicts, and wars, we should remind ourselves of our connectedness and oneness. We could help the frustrated, unhappy individuals by being more compassionate, listening to them, or giving a ride to a friend or neighbor, to the grocery store, or to meet a doctor. send flowers to a friend who is sick, or give a call, or send an email, donate blood, allow an older person to come forward in a queue, then supporting each other, being kind and generous, keeping the atmosphere pure and clean, we could create positive tendencies. The earth that has been abused and ill-treated will start healing. As the Dalai Lama in his recent birthday message said, if we want to leave a good earth or world for our children living now and those to come in future, we must guard, protect, and keep the earth and its environs clean and pure. Thank you. So now if you have any questions, please ask. Shall we do a little meditation, please?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay. So today I thought we will do a mindfulness meditation, but of course for mindfulness meditation also, it is the breath that takes, that we do to be mindful. It will help, mindfulness meditation will help to slow down your thoughts, because if we are always mindful, then when a thought comes, we can always either take it or leave it. So therefore, we can slow down thoughts. Also, we can let go of negativity. And we can calm our body and mind. Not only our mind, but also our body, right? So now, the way of sitting for meditation is, you sit on a cushion on the floor with your legs crossed, or you can sit on a chair with your feet flat on the ground, but keep in both postures, keep your upper part of the body straight, the spine straight with the neck and the head. Now, take a few deep breaths and hold the breath as long as possible. When you take it in, the inhaling, keep it as long as possible. Then slowly let it out. Now like that, you take a few deep breaths. Now close your eyes. Now we have done the breath meditation before, but I don't think we actually looked at the inhaling breath and the exhaling breath. Inhaling means you take in the breath. Now, when you take the breath in, it is cooler. Can you see any difference between the inhaling and the exhaling? Now, when you take a few deep breaths, now breathe as you normally do. Don't sort of keep it for a long time, but just breathe in and out in the normal way and see if there is a difference between the inhaling and the exhaling. Now, when you are, inhaling and when you are exhaling, the inhaling breath, now when it goes out, there is a pause between the two. Then again, when you take in, there is a pause between the exhaling and the inhaling. So see whether you can see the pause, the sort of a little pause. It's not a long one. Now see your belly or your abdomen rising and falling, and the lungs filling up with air. And then when you exhale, the lungs get free or become free. The belly also falls down, right? When you inhale, the lungs fill up, the belly rises, and when you exhale, the belly falls and the lungs also, let go of the air. See whether you can feel these sensations. Now, if thoughts come, naturally thoughts will come. If thoughts come, notice them. Don't ignore them. Simply note them. There is a thought. There is a thought or thinking. Thought, there is a thought. Thought or thinking. Now, if the mind wanders away, slowly, with care, just bring it back. Don't force. Slowly bring it back. Now, I'm going to tell you a few things. Think about them. May I have no worries about the past or future. May I have no worries about the past or future. May there be peace and calm in my mind and body. Now you are wishing for yourself. May there be peace and calm in my mind and body. May my mind be positive. May I start each day with positivity. May my mind be positive. May I start each day with positivity. May I be mindful of each moment. May I be mindful of each moment. Now, Think of a good friend or someone that you like, right? Even it may be your mother or teacher or anybody, right? Think of someone and wish the same for that person. May you be peaceful and calm. May you be peaceful and calm. May you have no worries about the past or future. May your mind be positive. May you be mindful of each moment. Now, think of all the creatures on this earth, human beings, animals, all creatures, small and big. And let us wish the same. May all of you be peaceful and calm. May all of you have no worries about the past or future. May your minds be positive. May all of you be mindful of each moment. Now, slowly open your eyes. Try to do this kind of now this is also metta meditation also, and it's also mindful meditation. Try to do this kind of meditation every day for even a small little time, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, whatever you can. And even when you are doing some job, in between jobs, you can just breathe in and out, which will keep you calm. If you can do this kind of meditation, wishing for all, that's also good. Okay. So I may not be able to do the next, day's program on the 3rd. So remember that, right? Thank you all very much for coming, and may all of you be well, happy, and peaceful.